Good morning, folks. This is Laughlin 007. I'm back today as an RVer. No horse racing today. As you may know, I've been a full-time RVer for 22 years. I started in a 1982 Ford Travel. I chose a Class A because of the amount of space that's in it, and I towed a Suzuki Samurai behind my 1982 Ford Travel. That Ford Travel had a Dometic refrigerator, and I had that RV for 10 years, and I had to replace the cooling unit, which at that time was it cost about $500 for a new cooling unit. I was able to replace it myself. But it's summertime, and I'm reading about a lot of problems that people are having with their refrigerators. The first thing you have to know is that if you keep opening the door to the refrigerator, it's going to take a long time for it to get cold. So I've actually put up a short video about a Accurite remote thermometer. I have this on my desk. I look at it all the time. It tells me the inside temperature here in the RV as well as the inside temperature in the refrigerator. And I just check on it now and then just to make sure everything's okay. And I've learned over the years that the refrigerator needs to go on the north side of the RV, if at all possible. Park so that the refrigerator is on the north side. It's in the shade most of the day. The hot sun will make it harder to stay cool. And I'm going to show some pictures of my current Norcold, as well as the cooling fans that I put in the chute behind the refrigerator. There's a word for it, but in any case, I have a set of computer fans, 12-volt computer fans, down below, which blow air upward, and then I have more computer fans up at the top of the stack, pulling the hot air out. So I get a good airflow back there that helps stay cool. But like I say, one of the biggest things is opening the door. I know that when I go to the grocery store and I load up the refrigerator, it warms up, and it takes quite a while for it to get cool again. Anyway, this is the 1993 Ford Travel that I bought. It's a Ford Travel Grand Villa, and this thing was just immaculate. It was stored inside. I can't say that for the last 12 years it's never been inside, but as you can see, it's got window awnings. These are real important in the summertime, and they allow you to stay cool. And I can't say enough about Ford Travels. They're well-built motorhomes, and I just couldn't be happier with mine. It doesn't look like this anymore. It's the colors are faded, and this is gel coat. It's a fiberglass body, and it's covered with gel coat. And my gel coat is faded. It needs to be treated. I don't really know anything about that process, but it doesn't change the what's the word? It affects the value of the coach, but it certainly doesn't affect the functionality. And while we're at it, let me point out that this has a large Zip-D awning. Now I camp out west, And I learned in my previous coach that these awnings are great if you can put them out. The problem is that the wind comes up out of nowhere, and it on my first Ford travel, the awning got all bent out of shape. I put a new fabric on it. That fabric got torn up. The frame got bent so bad that I just took it off. And on this coach, I've never had this awning out, the big awning. I put the window awnings out all the time, and they're they're good in a hurricane force wind. Anyway, moving right along, this is my Norcold refrigerator, and it's a full size, and I couldn't be happier with it. It has a control panel here where you can register the temperature. The mode, it runs both on propane or electric. If you set it on automatic, it will run with electric, and switch over to propane if there's no electric. And I mentioned these fans. Now mine are old and dusty, as is the cooling unit. You can see here. I mean, there's a lot of dust in the desert. It's just a fact of life. But anyway, I have this set of fans down below, and I have a similar set of fans up above. And these move the air. They take hardly any juice, and they move the air, and they really help the refrigerator stay cool. Anyway, this is, like I say, I've heard all kinds of people complaining about their refrigerators, and a lot of people have switched over to residential refrigerators, which is great if you're plugged in all the time or if you have enough solar power to run them. But running an electric refrigerator for 24 hours a day takes a lot of juice. So you need a lot of solar panels and a lot of battery power in order to do it. And with my current setup, I have 500 watts of solar power and 300 amp hours of lithium batteries. And I just don't even think about it. There was a time when I used to run my refrigerator part-time, a few hours in the morning off my battery, but I just run it strictly on propane now. My Ford Travel has a 45-gallon propane tank, and for people that camp off the grid, that's what you want. You want big propane tanks. You want large water and waste tanks. And once again, I can't say enough about Ford Travels. Anyway, this is Laughlin 007 signing off for now. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, tap that lucky gold horseshoe down there in the right-hand corner. It only takes a second. It doesn't cost a dime. If you like RVing or horse races, you'll love this channel. So thanks again and good luck out there.